Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Bonjour tout le monde. My name is Katrina Campos-Arconi-Stubbs, and I'll be your moderator today. Je serai votre modératrice aujourd'hui. Thank you for joining us for our media availability on O-Train's Lines 2 and 4 trial running. Merci de vous joindre à nous pour cette point de presse sur la période de rodage pour les lignes 2 et 4 de l'O-Train. The media availability is available in French or English. If you would like interpretation, click the globe icon in the bottom menu and select your preferred language. You can ask your questions in the language of your choice. The meeting is being recorded. Ce point de presse est disponible en français ou en anglais. Si vous souhaitez bénéficier d'une interprétation audio, cliquez sur l'icône de globe d'interprétation dans le menu du bas, puis sélectionnez la langue de votre choix. Vous pouvez poser vos questions dans la langue de votre choix. Cette réunion est enregistrée. Today's media availability will include opening remarks from Renee Amicar, General Manager of Transit Services, and Richard Holder, the Director of the Rail Construction Program. Le point de presse aujourd'hui comprendra des remarques préliminaires de Renee Amical, Directrice générale Service de transport en commun, et de Richard Holder, Directeur Programme de construction de TLR. I'll now pass things over to Renee. Renee, à vous la parole.
Merci beaucoup, Katrina. Je suis très contente d'être ici avec vous tous aujourd'hui. Thank you for joining us today for our second virtual media availability for trial running. I'm joined here once again by Richard Holder, Director of Rail Construction Program, to discuss the trial running results from October 8th. Each day, as trains travel between Bayview and Limebank and South Keys and the airport, we are closely monitoring the system's performance, gathering data, and making adjustments. With each completed day of trial running, OC Transpo and Transit Next are gaining valuable experience that will help prepare us for the safe and reliable launch of service. Now, I will invite Richard to provide you with an overview of day 2. Richard, please.
Thank you, Renee, and good afternoon, everyone. Just as a reminder, when we go over the results, we're always talking about the previous day of service. So for Tuesday, Transit Next's on-time performance was 99.4%, so we remain on a very positive trend. This means that the 14-day rolling average is currently 98.9%. There are now a minimum 12 days until this phase of trial running could conclude. During operations on Tuesday, there were minor issues encountered, and these included a minor malfunction on the CCTV camera system on one train. These are cameras that are used by the operators to look out for customers when entering and exit trains. This issue was seen on a different train than the previous day. Another issue on one train occurred when there was a brief delay at a terminus station when the operator changed from one end of the cab to the other end of the cab. The troubleshooting was required by the TOCC and the operator on the train control system, and the issue was resolved. But this is something we are closely monitoring with Transit Next. As a reminder, to successfully complete this phase of trial running, the 14-day rolling average for Transit Next performance must be 98.5%. It is still early days, but I am pleased with the results we are seeing. We continue to work collaboratively with Transit Next throughout this process to learn and make enhancements to the operations where needed. Thank you, and I will now hand back to Katrina.
Thank you, Richard. Merci, René. I'll ask each agency in alphabetical order to ask their questions. Je vais maintenant inviter chaque organisme de presse par ordre alphabétique à poser des questions. We'll start with Arthur White-Crummy at CBC.
Hi there. I think I just have one question today. I recall that in the reliability data that you're reporting, you are not going to be taking account of these non-project co-causes, I guess things that are caused by the operator or a third party. And I just thought I'd check in today to see if you have experienced, any of those non-project co-causes thus far.
Yeah, thank you for the question. That's a good question. So we have seen a number of late departures beyond the 30 seconds due to what we would describe as an operator issue. So we've had a handful of those on Tuesday and also on Monday.
And I guess just one quick follow-up, would those have substantially changed the results that you had? Like, are they leading to significant delays, or are they fairly marginal at this point?
We would consider them marginal.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Arthur. We'll go on to William Etherington at CTV.
Hi, everyone. My question was about the braking issue yesterday. Was there any more work looked into for that? And do you think that might be an issue again in the future?
We have not seen a repeat of the issue that occurred. It was a singular event on one train, and we've not had issues with launching other trains, and we've not had brake issues as trains have been navigating the line throughout the 2 days of trial running. So we don't believe it's a systematic issue. We still continue to investigate to try and resolve, but we don't believe that that's going to cause us problems moving forward.
And when you say that, so it was 99.4% was the on-time performance today. So how many trains would that be that were late? Oh, sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I apologize. I think the number of reported late departures beyond the 30 seconds is 4.
Thank you.
Thank you, William. On y va au Charles-Antoine.
We'll now go to Charles-Antoine Gagnon from Le Leroy newspaper. Hello, everyone. I want to make sure that I fully understand the issues that you experienced on Monday, the security cameras and the braking system. These have been resolved and did not reoccur today. Is that right? Thank you for the question. That's quite right. They were resolved. For the braking system issue, we're working with Transit Next to make sure that this is not a recurring problem. Now, for the cameras, it's like your telephone. Sometimes when you have an issue, you have to do a reboot, a reset. These things can happen, but we're doing everything to make sure it doesn't happen again. Thank you. Next question. Now, a surprise question. Line 2 and 4. How many billions or hundreds of millions have been spent on extending these lines? Do you have that those figures to hand? Not from memory, no. But we could send out the information. Originally, it was a project of some $800 million. Now, stage 2, including the east and west extension, 80 million. We could perhaps send you information through my communications team. We can send out this accurate information. This is public data after all. Thank you.
And then we'll go on to Blair Crawford at the Ottawa Citizen.
Yes, hi. Just curious about the operators themselves. I know that you're simulating the actual running of the train, but does that include like the operators' shift changes? And how many operators are involved in the testing during a day?
I can certainly respond to the earlier part of that question in terms of the timetable that we're running now for the trial running is to mimic the timetable that we will have in passenger service. So the shifts that are booked for the operators is the kind of shifts that we would expect to have once we go into passenger service. In terms of the exact number of operators
I can answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the ideal number that we would need is 65. That doesn't mean 65 people will run the train daily, but you know that we have to deliver the service Monday to Sunday. and people can call sick, and people can have a vacation, etc. So we need to secure 65 people so we can daily have a sustainable service.
And is that 65 just for Trillium Line, or is that for the whole system?
It's only for the Trillium Line. Those people who are driving the train for the Trillium Line cannot drive the trains for the Construction Line, because it's another technology.
Yeah, okay. Thanks. That's all the questions.
Thank you. We have time just for any follow-up questions if anyone wants to ask another question. No, I don't see anyone. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Merci tout le monde. We'll talk soon. This concludes our media availability today.